loves, thanks for coming back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification button so that you can get a notification every time that I post. Now today I did a little different. I usually do an inspired look or a hit or miss, but today I just wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to create my own look, and I hope you guys like it. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this look, please just keep right on watching, okay?
Okay guys, so I'm gonna start out with my eyebrows. For those of you that didn't get a chance to see my last eyebrow tutorial, it was deleted by accident, so I just wanted to go ahead and do a quick eyebrow tutorial along with this makeup look. So right now I'm just prepping my brows and I'm using a spoolie to brush them up. You get a better arch when you brush everything up. So I'm just brushing everything up, and the next step that I'm going to do is completely optional. You don't have to powder your brows, but it does help if you sweat, or it keeps the shine down. So I'm just prepping my eyebrows with the setting powder. I believe that was, it might have been HD Cosmetics. I'm not sure what that was. I got it off Amazon. I actually ordered some better setting powder, so I'm not going to brag too much about that one because I know I need another one. Okay, and once I set my brows in place, then I'm going to go in with the pomade, and this is Playing in Makeup by Yolanda, and the shade is Brunette. And I'm just going to outline my eyebrows so that I can fill them in. And everything that I'm doing on one side, I'm going to do on the other side. So you may see where the clips jump a little bit, but it's just because I'm just doing the other brow off camera, and then I'm going back to the other brow. Okay, so I'm just shaping those out. It doesn't have to be perfect right now because the concealer is what's going to shape those eyebrows perfect. So just get that shape, just outline that shape, and that's the main focus. And then once you've done that, then the concealer will touch up anything else that you didn't get quite so perfect. So don't spend too much time here trying to make sure they're perfect. Just get the basic arch of the brow, and just make sure those lines are straight. That's pretty much all I can tell you about that part. And I'm just shaping out the other side of my brow. As I said, the same thing I did to one brow, I do to the other brow. So everything should be symmetrical when you're done with your brows. They should pretty much look like twin sisters. So, okay, and now I'm filling in my brows, and I'm starting from the back. My advice to you is to not start from the front of the brow. You don't want the front of the brow to look dark. You want your brows to look natural. So start from the back of the brow, and when you get towards the front of the brow, then that's when you're going to be really light with that pomade, because you don't want the front of your brows to look too dark, because then they start to look fake, and you want a natural looking brow. So right now I'm just blending everything together with the spoolie. Oh, bless me. So yeah, and that's just what I'm doing. I'm just blending everything out. I'm not really adding too much more of the pomade to my brow brush. I'm pretty much just lightly stroking with the product that's on it, and every now and then I will dip into it, but I'm lightly putting that over my brows. on the front of my brows. Now the back of my brows, I did dip it a few times just to give it that darker effect, but the front does not need that much attention, okay? And as I said, I'm not focused so much on making them perfect right now. I'm pretty much just focused on getting them there and shaped out, and then I'll go back with my concealer, okay? And I went in with a lighter shade for the bottom of my brow, and this was only because I was going to do a eyeshadow look with this look. If you're only planning on doing your eyebrows, I suggest that you use the shade that's closest to your skin tone for the top and the bottom. I mean, I'm going in with that shade B, and that's Planning Makeup by Yolanda 2. It's an eyeshadow base. So this is the reason why I'm using that color, is because I'm going to go in with the eyeshadow look. But as I said before, you'll see the next shade that I apply to the top. If you're only shaping your brows, you want both top and bottom to be the same color as your skin tone, okay? Then I'm going in with my cut crease Morphe brush. Let me see if I can get that number on that brush for you. Yes, yeah, I can. Okay, so that's the JS10. I'm sorry. Yeah, I went blind for a second. That's the JS10 Morphe. Okay, so I'm just shaping up my brows. As I said, that is the JS10 Morphe brush, and I'm using that to shape out the bottom of my brow. It's actually a really good crease brush. You'll see me use this brush a few times in my video because it just is very universal for me. I like it. I like to use it a lot of different ways. Okay, so you take your time with this part. The video is a little sped up, but I typically on this part I do take my time with it because I want my brow to look perfectly sculpted, and I feel that, you know, if I take my time with it, then it'll come out just right. So I did the other brow off camera. Then I'm gonna go in with my shade. That's the L'Oreal Infallible, and that's in shade Chestnut, which is my skin tone. I use this always for the top of my brow. And when I'm not doing the eyeshadow look, I also use that for the bottom of my brow, which is what I meant when I said if you're only going to do your brows, you need to use the color shade that is your skin tone. Okay, and then I'm going in with just another crease brush. This is not a Morphe brush. This is just a brush that I bought off Amazon. I usually use this for the top of my brow just because the brush is really small and it's thin, and it helps me to get that perfect crease at the top. I don't need a bigger brush for that. I don't feel the need for that, so I always go in with a smaller brush for the most part, and I don't typically use the same crease brush for the top and the bottom because those are two different shades, and I don't want to transfer that lighter color to the top of my brows. So as you can see, it matches my skin tone so well, you can't even tell that I'm using anything, but my brows are scoping out just beautifully. So get that skin tone color down packed, and once you got it down packed, you can create magic. And I try not to play with it too much, because if you start to play with those brows too much, then you start to mess up and your brows get thinner and thinner and they start to look a mess. So try not to play with them too much. You sculpt those brows out and take your time the first time and try not to go back over it too many times. And just like that, you have brows. It's not hard at all. Just take your time with it. That's it. Okay, so now I'm going to start my eyeshadow look, and I'm going to go in with that Artistry Vault palette, and that's also Playing in Makeup by Yolando. And here I'm going to, I'm going to go ahead and put some of the OA eyeshadow base on. I used the lighter color. I'm using that lighter color simply because I'm using bright colors at the top, and I know I used that B shade. To me, I mean, it really wouldn't have mattered. You could still have used that shade B, but I opted to use the OA just because I wanted my colors to pop a little bit more, so I wanted to add a little white to that. Because as you'll see when I go back into the video, I'm going to be using another shade. So I use a couple of different shades when I'm doing like different, it depends on the look. Okay, so it all depends on the look. And I just wanted to blend that white in with that B color. I'm going in with that shade Tap, and I'm going to use that to start my color out. And I'm using the I should have got this all down together, but I do believe I'm using the JS. This might be a 9 brush. Let me see. JS12. I believe this is a JS12 blending brush. Don't quote me on this. Oh no, yep, y'all, I'm lying. I'm such a liar. Okay, so it was not the JS10. I mean the JS12. It was actually, I'm using it for all of those colors. So that is actually the JS13. So it's a little smaller than the JS12. Okay. Then I went in with that next shade, and I'm packing that color right beside that color Tap. And also I say when you're blending and you want a smoother blend, try to blend that shade a little on top of the next shade just for a smoother transition, and you don't really want to overblend those colors, so you kind of just want to place them a little bit on top of each other for a smoother transition. You're going to blend them a little bit anyways, but it just helps for a smooth transition if you don't pack them right next to each other but a little on top of each other. And I'm sorry, y'all hear my kids in the background. Okay, I'm going in with that next shade. That is a pink shade. It's called Melly's Angels. And I'm going to pack that right beside 101, that shade Orange. And to get those colors right, you kind of have to think of a rainbow. So you don't want to pack something that doesn't blend well into the next color. So make sure when you're blending those colors, make sure that those two colors are blendable colors. Okay, so that's the best advice I could give to you, because we know that yellow and green, they blend perfectly into each other. Yellow blends into orange perfectly, and orange blends into pink perfectly. And if I was going to use another shade, the pink would blend perfectly with the purple. So you just have to think of colors that would blend well with those, with each other. Okay. And then right now I'm just packing those colors back on top because I lost a little bit when I blended them out together. And as I'm packing those colors back on, I am also blending a little bit. So you're gonna see me packing those colors back on, but on the same note, I am blending them just a little bit into each other, just so I don't have to blend those colors again, but I want to pack those colors on. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. Okay. And do have to, I mean, take your time. As I said, the video is sped up, but I don't rush anything that I do. If you want the look to be perfect, take your time with it until you get that speed. Just take your time, I advise you. Okay, and then I'm going back in with that cut crease brush I was telling you guys earlier about, and I'm gonna go in with that shade B, and I'm gonna cut my crease. Now I cut high creases simply because I have hooded lids, and if I want to see any of the color that I plan on putting into my cut crease, I like to cut my crease a little higher. For a more subtle look, or if you don't really care for your cut crease being so high, I would suggest in one of my other videos, if you haven't watched it, I give you tips on exactly how to cut your crease, and it doesn't have to be a high crease, and it'll be just the right crease size for your eyelids, I should say. So if you haven't checked that video, it's probably in one of my first videos. So if you want to know how to cut your crease and you don't want to cut a high crease, go check that video out, and I gave you tips on how to do that, okay? Take your time with it. It took me some time I didn't rush it. It took some time. And there's really not much to say on this part. Just kind of sit back and watch. Her eyeshadow bases are pretty, it's nice and thick, so you don't have to use a lot of product, and it's very full in coverage. As you can see, I didn't even I didn't even take any of that color away. I kind of just cut my crease right on top of that color, and you can't even tell, because like I said, the eyeshadow base is the truth. I love it, and it dries really fast, and it packs those colors on nice and vibrant. Okay, so now I'm just pretty much just putting that color all over my lids now. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with that shade Carnival. That was more of a really royal dark blue, and I'm adding that to my cut crease. And I probably could have used a bigger brush. That is a Morphe brush. It's a Morphe brush, but it's not a numbered Morphe brush, so it's just a Morphe brush. And I got these out of Ulta Beauty, so it just says Morphe on it. I can't give you a number for that, but it's a packing brush. And I'm just packing that color on there. And as you can see, I did not get all the way up to the top, because when you're doing that top, you're going to need a thinner brush, and that was more for packing. It was not for getting into those creases. So you'll need a crease brush to get into those creases really well, okay? And there I I'm just using a crease brush, and that is not a Morphe brush. That is just a brush that I got off Amazon, and I'm using that to pack the color inside of those creases, just to fill them in. And I really took my time with this part because I did not want my colors to smear into my brighter color at the top, because as you can see, that blue is really, really dark, and if I get a little bit on those bright colors, it's just gonna mess the look up. So I had to be really slow with this part and take my time, and I just packed that in to my creases, just to fill them in, and I took my time with it, as you can see. You know, I really didn't realize the angle that I was shooting this video in, so I'm sorry if this is not the best angle, you guys, but my next video I'll be able to show you in more detail. I just didn't realize that I was looking so that my mirror was so far off that I was not in the center of the camera. So if you can pretty much just get over that part, then we should be fine. We can carry on with the next part of this video. But yeah, I did realize that I wasn't looking into the camera as much, so you probably can't see in grave detail what I'm doing, but I'm hoping that I can at least give you an idea of what I'm doing. And then now I'm just going to use my Q-tip and some Vaseline, and here I am going to clean it up a little bit, just because that color was so dark. I wanted to make sure I got rid of as much of that color at the bottom as I could, just to make sure those colors could stay bright and vibrant. And y'all, when I tell y'all I didn't know how to move my hands trying to get this, I was putting my fingers in the way. I was like, oh, girl, what you gonna do with them hands? I couldn't figure it out. Look, girl, what you doing? I don't know. But I did it best I could until I was like, you know what? Just forget it. Because it was a task trying to use both of my hands at the same time, and I was just like over it. I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this eyeshadow base on here. Just pray. I cleaned it up as much as I could, y'all. I'm not a quitter. I'm no quitter. But yeah, that part right here made me question if I might got a little disability. Okay, so now I'm using that shade OA. Y'all always get it confused. So if you hear me say it different at different parts of the video, I get confused a little bit, but that's the white color that I'm using, and that's the Playing in Makeup by Yolanda. That's her eyeshadow base, and it's white. So if you go on the website and you look for Playing in Makeup by Yolanda.com, her website should pop up, and she has really great products. So I would definitely go do some shopping on there, and she does specials here and there. So if you go and follow her page at Playing in Makeup by Yolanda, you'll catch those sales. So she has really great products, but you gotta catch them on sales sometimes, because some of her products are a little pricey, but they're worth the price that you pay for it. But it's even better when you can get more at one time, because she's running a sale. So that's just my advice to you. Alright, so now I'm just cropping out where I'm going to put those colors back in. And when I do go back in with those colors, I'm going to start from the opposite color and I'm going to work my way to the color that's in the front. So example, I'm going to start with the pink, go to the orange, yellow, green, and I'm going to, you know, start that from the front to the back. So I'm just going to switch it up a little bit. And then I know you guys will notice, and you'll probably say it in the comment section below, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. I did add another color in there. When I got towards the end, I added a blue color, and I added that color. It was called Don't Swipe. And I didn't show that color in the video when I did when I showed the colors in the palette, but that was also in the Artistry Vault palette. So you'll find that color also in that palette, and it was called Don't Swipe. It's a light blue color. Packing those colors back on, and you will notice that I didn't get it into the creases because I'm going to get a crease brush for that to fill those colors in. And I'm just doing the same thing that I did to the top, to the bottom, in the opposite direction. That's where I decided to add that blue. Just wanted to add another color pop to it, so I added that blue. And then I'll end up adding it to the front. Now I'm just filling everything in that you see white, and make sure I fill all of those white spots in with color. So that's what I'm doing here. Sorry for the angle again. I'm sorry that you can't see exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just filling in those creases that you can see white. I'm just filling those in with color, okay? And I went back in with that same brush that I used earlier that I said I got from Amazon to fill those colors in. I just cleaned that brush off. And I know that you guys see a little white in that corner of my eye, and that's fine. I'm going to get that, and I'm also going to add another shimmer color there also. Right now I'm just focused on getting that wing on there, make it nice and colorful. This is a process. Anytime you're playing with multiple colors and trying to do a design, it can be a bit much. So make sure you have the time and the patience for it. Precision brush. That was just well, not a precision brush, but a smaller cut crease brush. I'm sorry. That was just to get it just perfect, like I needed it. sometimes you have to switch up the brush. You won't be able to use the same brush for everything, so you know when to switch those brushes up, you'll be fine. You'll need multiple brushes to create the look that you're trying to get. Okay, so now I'm gonna add that shimmer to the top of that blue, and I went in with the Jamrock Extreme palette, and that is also Playing in Makeup by Yolando, just to add a shimmer to that matte blue, just because the look was already matte and I just wanted to add a little shine to it. So I did add a shimmer, and that color was Mara. And it went really well on that blue. It didn't change the appearance of it, it just added shine to it. So I really loved how those two colors came together. I didn't know if they would come together, but they came together perfectly and I loved it.
Guys, so that is it for today's look and tutorial. I hope I was able to help you, inspire you, and I did throw a little bonus at the beginning because I did do my brows. For those of you who missed my last brow video, I accidentally deleted the video, so I wanted to repost that video because I did get a request for my brows. So I hope that helped also. As I said before, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button and hit that notification button so that you can get a notification every time that I post. I couldn't get that out just now. Anyway, so yes, this is the final product. And I really enjoyed filming this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope I helped you, gave you some tips. If there was anything in this video that I did not do that you would like to see me do in another video, please leave that in the comments below. And I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.